Hello, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Václav Fanta. I live in the Czech Republic and was born in Prague. I am 74 years old and I am the author of the Qardo game for the blind. I have been losing my sight gradually due to an eye disease called retinitis pigmentosa. I lost my sight completely when I was in my 50s. Until then, I worked as a professional photographer in the field of journalism, advertising and fashion photography. My motto was, I have found my eyes on the streets and they see things the way they are. Thanks to my profession, I have come to know not only the Czech Republic, but was able to travel throughout Europe and have spent long periods of time on business from Mexico to Afghanistan. In spite of getting to know the big wide world, my adoration has always stayed with Prague, its history, monuments, culture and folks. I have always been happy to return to my hometown. After I lost my sight, my life has changed completely. I have had to learn skills which sighted people would take for granted. What helped me greatly was the Center for the Blind located in Prague, na Dědině, which assists blind people in solving their daily problems.
Qardo is a tactile game for the blind. The game consists of 64 cards, square chips, with 8 different cutout shapes or symbols. The symbols are recognizable from one another by touch and are circle, square, oval, triangle, moon, star, heart, and a house. An important part of the game is its packaging, a cardboard box which creates a 2-pile deck. The bottom serves as storage for chips to be given out, while the lid is used to store returning discarded chips. The purpose of the Qardo game is to receive the largest numbers of pairs with identical symbols. Game rules. The game is suitable for 3 to 8 players. The players select a so-called dealer among themselves, who can be at the same time an active player. The dealer directs the course of the game. He gives out chips, takes back the returned ones, and makes the final count of points achieved by each player. The Qardo game begins with a careful shuffle of all chips. The dealer then gives out 4 chips to each player. After dealing is finished, each player checks the chips, and should he have a pair, 2 identical chips, he puts them aside and asks the dealer for 2 new replacement chips so that he has 4 chips again to play with. The game starts after this initial round. In each subsequent round, the dealer gives out 1 chip to each player in a clockwise manner, or anti-clockwise if preferred. The player who gets the 5th chip either puts away an identical pair, in which case the dealer gives him another chip to complete his chip numbers again to 4. In case the player does not receive a chip to form a pair, he can return whichever chip he does not wish to keep back to the dealer and go on playing with the 4 he wishes to keep. Before the dealer returns this discarded chip into the box, he is obliged to announce the symbol of the returned chip to the other players, and every subsequent player has the right to take this discarded chip as his 5th one if the chip suits him to make a pair. Then he puts that pair aside and the dealer gives him another chip to have 4 chips again to carry on playing. The game goes on this way until all chips from both piles, bottom and lid, are exhausted. The player who gets the last chip from the dealer puts away an identical pair, should he have any, and lets the following player pick up one of these remaining chips. As soon as the players take all chips from one another and the pairs are placed on the table as completed, the game is over. The dealer then counts the number of points achieved by each player. Counting points. 1 pair of identical symbols, 1 point. 2 pairs of identical symbols, 3 points. 3 pairs of identical symbols, 5 points. 4 pairs of identical symbols, 7 points. This is called Qardo. We asked several players about their experience while playing Qardo. Whom is the game designed for?
For us, blind people or those who are visually impaired.
Not only for the blind, but for all who want to play the game. Are you very familiar with the rules of the game?
Yes.
I can say I am. What do you like about Qardo?
That people can get together.
What is easy or difficult about the game?
There are chips with symbols of a house and symbols of a square. It is sometimes confusing.
Is it possible to cheat at the game? You can cheat at any game. What does Qardo do for you? It certainly helps to improve the touch and memory. What does the game bring to you? Why do you play Qardo?
Because it's fun.
It brings me joy. I love it.
We have much fun with the game.
I like to play the game very much because not only does it allow me to practice touch, but also experience lots of fun. That is why I like to play it.
It is nice that I am among people who can help me. Qardo is a good social and interesting game for me.
Qardo is a very enjoyable social game for me.
Qardo is for me a very interesting way to meet people.
Qardo is fun for me.
Qardo, as the saying goes, is a joy for me.
Qardo is fun for me. I love getting pairs.
Qardo is actually a dream come true for me by having brought enjoyment to many people.